The Dynasty Warriors franchise has always been synonymous with fast-paced, action-packed gameplay, where players hack and slash their way through hordes of enemies. With the upcoming release of Dynasty Warriors Origins on January 17th, 2025 for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series XS, and Steam, the series is taken a bold step forward by blending traditional Musou combat with more strategic tactical elements. This isn't a mere spin-off, it's being treated as a full mainline entry in the series with a revamped approach to gameplay, narrative, and character design that aims to capture both longtime fans and newcomers alike. Dynasty Warriors Origins takes place before the infamous Yellow Turban Rebellion, a key event in the Three Kingdoms period of Chinese history. This setting offers players a chance to explore the rise of Zhang Zhao, the leader of the Yellow Turbans, in greater detail. By starting the story at this pivotal moment, the game sets the stage for a deeper understanding of Zhang Jiao's motivations, the unrest that led to the rebellion, and the turmoil that defined this era. This approach aims to be accessible to new players without requiring extensive knowledge of the broader Three Kingdoms narrative. While the game covers a significant part of the early Three Kingdoms period, it won't span the entire era. As a result, not every iconic character will make an appearance, and unfortunately, fans of the Jin faction will need to wait for another time to see their favorite characters. That said, even if characters reappear later in the story, they will be treated with care and will not be reduced to generic versions of their former selves. The developers have promised that each character's design will reflect their historical status and position. Expect a young pre-King Cao Ko and Liu Bei for example during the Yellow Turban Rebellion. One of the most exciting aspects of Dynasty Warriors Origins is its new focus on tactical action RPG elements. While the core combat still revolves around the signature Musou formula, defeating hordes of enemies with stylish combos, the game emphasizes more strategic decision-making. Battles will no longer be a mindless hack-and-slash affair. Instead, players must consider the layout of the battlefield, the morale of their army, and how best to position themselves within the larger conflict. The morale system plays a central role in this new strategy. Armies with high morale will fight with greater strength and resilience, while low morale can cause your forces to falter. Capturing enemy camps and defeating key officers will affect the morale of both sides, and the dynamic nature of this system means that battles will feel more unpredictable and intense. If you're facing an enemy with high morale, rushing their leader could be a daunting challenge, but it's a strategy that can pay off if executed well. To further enrich the combat experience, Dynasty Warriors Origins brings back the charge system, which allows players to unleash devastating special moves. Each weapon in the game will have its own unique abilities, giving players the freedom to experiment with different playstyles. In addition, the unnamed protagonist can switch between weapons mid-battle, offering a more fluid and versatile combat experience. This dynamic approach to combat means that players will need to think on their feet, adapting their tactics to the flow of the battle. One of the key highlights of Dynasty Warriors Origins is the role of allies. While the unnamed protagonist is the only playable character, you'll be able to temporarily control other officers during battle, aiding you in your quest. Cooperation with your allies will be crucial to victory as fighting solo can leave you vulnerable to enemy officers and ambushes. In this game, you are not a lone warrior, but part of a larger military force, and your success depends on how well you can coordinate and fight alongside your comrades. Horses, an iconic feature of the Dynasty Warriors series, return in Origins. Though they won't be immediately available, players will need to unlock horses as they progress through the game, making them a strategic asset that can help tip the scales in battle. Horses allow for faster mobility and more efficient engagement with enemies, but mastering them will require time and practice. In addition, a new bodyguard system will add further depth to the strategy. Though details are still scarce, it's clear that these bodyguards will play an important role in protecting the protagonist and helping with larger tactical maneuvers. Another exciting feature in Dynasty Warriors Origins is the introduction of an overworld map. Players will be able to visit different towns and choose which battles to engage in and the order in which they do so. The overworld map provides a sense of scale and allows players to see the distances between key locations. As you progress, new areas will unlock, giving you more freedom to explore and decide how to approach the conflict. The real-time display of information during battles is another notable improvement. Gone are the days of opening menus to check on mission objectives or the status of your army. In Origins, key information such as morale and objectives will be shown in real time, allowing you to focus on strategy without interrupting the flow of combat. Dynasty Warriors Origins also makes significant improvements to the combat system. Peons, the basic enemy soldiers, are more aggressive and cooperative, fighting as a unified unit rather than individual targets. While they can still be defeated in large numbers, players will need to be more careful when dealing with groups of enemies, especially if they wield different types of weapons like shields. The dueling system from Dynasty Warriors 4 makes a return, allowing players to engage enemy officers in one-on-one combat. To accept it, duel players can press L1, L2, and the winner is determined when the enemy's health reaches 0. Duels are an important part of the game, as they can boost morale, giving your army a tactical advantage. However, duels are timed, lasting only 50 seconds, and if neither opponent wins in that period, the duel ends in a draw. While Dynasty Warriors Origins introduces a more tactical approach to the series, it remains true to the core elements that fans love. The gameplay retains the fast, fluid action that defines the series, but it is now complemented by strategic thinking, making it more engaging and rewarding. The game's focus on real-time information, dynamic morale, and tactical decision-making creates an experience that feels fresh yet familiar. With a complete game at launch and no plans for DLC or expansions, at least for now, Dynasty Warriors Origins is aiming to deliver a full and satisfying experience from the get-go. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a newcomer to the series, Origins promises a new kind of Musou experience, one where skill, strategy, and teamwork are just as important as brute strength. In the end, Dynasty Warriors Origins is shaping up to be an exciting addition to the franchise, one that balances its roots with fresh ideas to create an experience that is both accessible and challenging.